here with your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Chris, we got a 15-game card of Major League Baseball today.
And perfect spread too. Some afternoon baseball, and then sort of some 6 o'clock starts, and then primetime action. This is kind of what I enjoy, especially in the middle of the week.
Well, I gave out that under in the Diamondbacks Phillies as my $15 big play, and it was over in a hurry. And the thing was, I had a premium pick on the Diamondbacks on the side, and not sure why I didn't just give that out. They got absolutely blistered.
I'll tell you the truth. I like the Diamondbacks and the Phillies under as well, but it was just one of those unexpected things where Aaron Nola kind of had a bit of a blow up on the road, and it was just he couldn't get out. And that was
he
the
looked
problem
like he wanted
Suarez
out.
had.
He looked like just done. He just wanted out. It's like, I want out of Philly. I want out of this situation. I want out of everything. And man, he really got crushed in that game. Absolutely destroyed him. As the Phillies lost a little bit of traction there, but the Brewers unable to help themselves in that thing. And the Braves losing to the Rockies, they're on a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah.
When the Mets lost and they had a chance, it's the opposite in the American League, where the Rays, the Mariners, and the Jays have now won 2 games in a row, and the Twins have won 5 games in a row. In the National League, the Braves, the Phillies, and the Brewers all coming off losses, and only the Padres now have won 2 games in a row. So just a lot of important stuff going on.
Yeah. Well, and we're in that stretch run in September. We're getting into the final.
I got one thing to say to this guy. I win 100% of the games I get to talk about after they're over.
Yeah, I'm hitting at about 95%.
And we both love I love the Royals on the show yesterday.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Yeah, I can't stand the yesterday, comments. Congratulations, but I really don't care. I mean, I could sit here and I could read off my tickets to you also that I had, I've just been betting 200 a game. I've kind of peeled it back. I've just been, people are like, oh, baseball's been tough or whatever. It's like, just cut it back. Go to 200 a game or whatever, whatever your normal bets are, whatever. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with betting a little less than you normally do, peeling it back. If that's, if you're just not feeling the vibe, I'm not saying stop betting. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to stop or whatever. It's like, yeah. And then that's when you probably would have been your hottest, right? My luck. Just stay the course. But I've been doing a lot of, always do a lot of run lines and reverse run lines and, things like that. I did it yesterday. I have to hit all my plays except my big play. We all brag after I win. I wasn't bragging about it. I was just saying that I hit my plays. I just didn't hit my big play. It was more of an admission that I didn't hit my big play is what that was in my 7 free picks. Same thing as yesterday. I had a winning day. I did not win my big play. Same thing. I had the Diamondbacks. I had, I can go through. We can go through this every day if you want. We had a whole show, Tickets I didn't have to throw on the floor by Mitch Wilson. Did not have to throw it on the floor. What else did I have? A couple of those other early ones. I don't know what I had. Oh, Jorge Kirby on the run line. Yeah. Yes. Ticket I did not have to throw on the floor. Jorge Kirby. ¿Dónde está Jorge Kirby?
Yeah, Matt Manning did not show up for that game.
Oh, miserable. Misery loves company. Anyway, speaking of misery, we got the Rangers against the Astros in game 1 of the day. 2:05 Eastern time start. Got a good matchup here. I know a lot of people were on the Rangers yesterday. Ruffalo had the Astros as his pickoff play on the other side of it. Martin Perez against Christian Javier.
Yeah, I kind of went back and forth on this one. I think I like the under in this game. I'd also lean towards the Astros, but I like the under here just mainly because Christian Javier is got a 2.97 ERA, but a 7-9 record. And while some people will say that win-loss records for starting pitching may be one of the more meaningless statistics, it's the fact is that tells me that he's pitching well. Just he wasn't getting a lot of run support from the Astros. A 2.63 ERA in his last 7 with a 1-4 record. But Martin Perez, he was blown up by the Astros once this season. The other 2 starts against Houston, 1 earned run allowed in 16 innings. So I think this one's going to be a lower scoring game, 3-2 kind of game. So give me the under, Rangers Astros.
I like the Astros in this one. I just think that once they get off to these starts in these series, they generally are able to finish and to ride it on home. I'm going to take the Astros here. Javier's had a nice season. He's really had to, pick up his game and fill in, and he's done that, and I always like that. So I'm going to take the Astros in this one. I can't say enough about the season that Martin Perez has had. Hopefully it helps him. I'm going to guess he's on a short-term deal with Texas. Not sure, but I'm going to guess he is. So hopefully this has helped him, and, he deserves it. He deserves all the accolades. I think of all the pitchers that had the comeback, had the seasons this year, I think Martin Perez and Jordan Lyles are the 2 guys that really, to me, stand out, that were kind of like also rans, for the bulk of what we've seen from them in the past. And then all of a sudden they're really, solid options this season. Both became number ones.
Yeah, Perez in the offseason signed a 1-year, $4 million contract.
Yeah. So he's probably going to get paid. My guess is he makes 8.5 next year, 8 to 10 on a 1 year with the Twins.
You think he goes back to Minnesota?
I don't know where he goes. I'm just guessing. Yeah.
31 years old. He's still got some traction on him. It's just, I don't know. I think he gets some. I think you could get closer to 15. The way some of these pitchers are being paid, I think 15 would be a bit of a bargain. But again, you don't want to pay off of 1 year, so.
We'll move to our next game. It is the Brew Crew taking on the Pirates. Freddie Peralta up against Zach Thompson. Peralta, a big favorite here. Going to have to lay almost 1 to 3 odds here. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I put this one out yesterday when the line wasn't out, but minus 275 is tough. I think the only way to go in this one is Brewers run line. I think they need to take advantage of every spot where they can. And Zach Thompson, hasn't been the same reliable starter that we backed earlier on in the season. I think it's just a spot where Peralta sort of steps his game up. Yeah, he is a guy that kind of relies on strikeouts, and I think you can get a lot off this Pittsburgh lineup. So I'll lean towards the Brewers on the run line. Don't love it though. Not
loving the Brewers. Yeah, I think I would go for the Brewers here. I think I'm with you. I don't know. I can't really buy into the Pirates on a consistent basis, but they really kind of have had their way with the Brewers this season, right?
I think it's like 9-8 or something in the season series.
It just feels worse, right?
Yeah. Let's see. 10-8 for Milwaukee. Pittsburgh's won 6 of the last 7 meetings, so.
Yeah, I don't love the odds here, but I don't see any other way to go. I'm gonna take the Brewers. Go to our next game, and this will be the Giants and the Padres. This game just ended, as far as I'm concerned. This thing went on all freaking night. And then in the 9th inning, Jock Peterson hits the home run, and I'm like, oh, man, this thing's going to go to extra innings. And it didn't. Evan Longoria, lazy pop fly to the first baseman to end it. And 4-3 game for the Padres, winners in that one. But Alex Wood on the mound here against Musgrove. I don't like the way Musgrove has pitched recently. I kind of like the Giants in this one. How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I'll admittedly, come to terms with the fact that I was a Musgrove lover. I like the way he pitched, but not anymore. I mean, he's really struggled in his last seven. 4.42 ERA. But on the other side, Alex Wood, a 7 ERA, 15 runs allowed in his last two starts, 7 ERA across his last seven. I think this is going to be a higher scoring game. I think the first two are kind of lower scoring, hanging around the total. I don't think we're close to the total today. I think we see 11, 12 runs in this one. So I can go with the over 8.5.
Go to our next gem. Got the Guardians taking on the Orioles. Speaking of Jordan Lyles, he's going in this one up against Tristan McKenzie. McKenzie's got that high ceiling, that people are always talking about. Jordan Lyles, of course, giving up those high home runs. When he misses, he usually pays the price, but he's been so much better this year, right? So much better. This is a tough one. I did the video on this game, and I think I took the Guardians. I just think they're the better team. I just think they're the better managed team. And I think, the way that like yesterday's game broke down, I think that, the Orioles know, though, if they don't win this game, they're getting swept out of Cleveland because tomorrow it's Bieber against, I don't know who's on the other side of that debacle, but it's Bieber time.
Maybe Bradish. I haven't looked
Could
yet.
Could be. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I do like the Guardians as well. I mean, I've been a Tristan McKenzie fan. I think he's going to be the next ace of this Guardians rotation if he's around when Shane Bieber, makes way, or I don't know, once McKenzie passes him. I don't know, but I think I like the under a little bit more here. I think McKenzie's going to have another solid start, and I think Jordan Lyles, like you said, I think the Orioles know what they are up against, and Jordan Lyles can do everything he can to keep the Orioles in this game, and like you said, with the way the Twins have been surging, the Orioles all of a sudden starting to lose a little bit of traction in that wild card race, and it could be up to 5 games back by the end of the series if they don't get a win here. So I think I'm going to lean towards the under in a hard fought game, and I lean towards the Guardians as well, though.
Yeah, it's just, to me, it's like the Orioles are just not there yet. It's like they're so close. And, if it's John Means against Tristan McKenzie, maybe I feel differently. Imagine with the Orioles, that they're 67 and 61. Imagine what they are with Means. Even if it's just a 4 or 5 game differential, what that would make, what difference that would make.
Yeah, it is Bieber and Bradish tomorrow.
Well, speaking of the crap fest, we've got the Marlins taking on the Rays, and the Marlins have had no success against the Rays, really at all. Really against the American League East. I read the statistic yesterday on the show, and you laughed at me. No, I'm just kidding. No one laughed at me, but we saw it play out exactly like it did, where the Marlins have lost 16 in a row to American League East teams. I would say that for the Marlins to improve, that's probably a place where they need to be. They need to improve against the American League East. What do you think, Chris? In this one, Drew Rasmussen on the hill.
Yeah, I think for me in this one, I got to go with back to the well with the Rays on the run line. I haven't seen the price for Tampa Bay yet, but imagine it's going to be pretty hefty, and I still think it's Rays all day here, mainly because the Marlins are back to the problem where they can't score. Look at their last 4 games, and 5 of their last 6, 2 runs or less scored. And I think the Tampa Bay Rays, while they've had their issues, they're just a better team here, better hitting team. And I think Drew Rasmussen gives them a pretty good chance to win. So I go with the Tampa Bay Rays on the run line in this one.
Yeah, until the Marlins show me that they can beat a team from the American League East, if it's not broke, not going to try and fix it, not going to use the Miami Marlins to try and do so. I really would like to see what the Marlins can do as far as acquiring some personnel for some of the starting pitching that they have. And I know that it's nice to have that abundance of starting pitching like they have. It's a nice luxury to have, but this isn't a team that really has luxuries. So, it's time to do something. But we got the Reds and the Cardinals. I gave out the Reds on this show with Justin Dunn yesterday. You could thank me later on that one, or now, or whenever. Talk about, if people want to talk about picks they made yesterday. I believe I gave out the Reds-Royals parlay. Mike Minor's serving for Cincinnati. He is a. I think the technical term for him is. I think he's a shit show, Chris.
Oh man, I had to dive deep into the terminology book for that one. But no, I'm with I prefer the term dumpster fire. 6.10 ERA, 66 strikeouts compared to 29 walks, and just barely a 2-to-1 walk ratio, but a 5.97 ERA in his last 7. I expect Jose Quintana to give up a couple as well here, but I think this one's going over the total, maybe more so just because Mike Minor's on the other side at home.
But even by minor numbers, right? Even by Mike Minor numbers, the 19 home runs and 79 and 2/3 is off the chart for Minor. 19 dingers and 79 and 2/3. Last year, his 26 home runs that he gave up came across 158.7. He might cross that line by the time he gets to 100 innings this year. He might do it in half the, in 2/3 of what it took him to get across there last year. And then, you go back to that 30 home run season he had in 2019 with the Rangers. That was 208 innings. So really, he could possibly get there in half the time as well. In 104 innings, he's 79.7. I mean, basically, he's going at a home run every 4 innings clip. And we know he's fully capable of really even doing better than that if he really applies himself.
And I mean, that's kind of where he's been, regardless home or away. It's not like I can use the excuse, he pitches a Great American Ballpark. At home, 11 home runs allowed in 41 innings. On the road, 8 home runs allowed in 38 and 2/3. So
yeah, he's had seasons 2012, 26 home runs as a member of the Braves, 22 as a member of the Braves, 21 as on the Braves, 25 in Texas, 30 in Texas, 26 in Kansas City, and now 19 at Great American. Just has a knack for giving up the long ball. And the thing that we've seen along the way, too, with this is a really regressing strikeout number. I mean, super regressing, 66 Ks over this 79.7. I mean, not even, these are 6.10 ERA. This is a career high for him. Yeah, he's really just taking his game to a whole new level. So who's happier at the game, the fans with the chance to catch some balls, or the hot dog and peanut vendors who get a few extra hours to walk around the stands to sell some of their wares? It's going to be a light crowd there in Cincinnati.
Can I say both?
Yeah,
because both get the benefit of the doubt from that one.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a long day at the ballpark. Chris, what are you selling today?
For me today, I got my $15 pickoff play, and we hit it with the Astros yesterday. Looking to come back again with back-to-back days. Or I also got that $15 play as part of my my walk-off Wednesday 3-pack, $40 over at Pick Dogs Premium. Today's the last day to use that promo code OG15. So make sure you jump on board and take advantage of it.
Yep, I hit my I hit my 5-pack yesterday, but I did not hit my $15 big play. So I had a winning day, but just not winning enough, So, it's the second day in a row that's happened where it's like I had a winning day, but just the way that it worked out did not pay off for the $15 big play. So I love my $15 big play today, and hopefully we can bring it home, and this little 2-game skid I have going on. Of course, if you buy the $15 big play or Chris's big play or Ron Romanelli's rundown or any of the daily packages at pickdogs.com or sportschatplace.com premium, we have our credit guarantee. And the way that works is that if your play if it's a multi-pick package, if the package doesn't turn a profit, if the games are bet individually, then you'll get a credit for the amount of that package. If you buy like an individual pick, and the pick doesn't win, you get a credit for the amount of things. Now, other websites, and we have done this in the past, but we will never be doing it again, is they make you pay for that. So basically, if you buy a pick and you lose, it's on you. And it's like, but you can pay extra for the same pick
With
And
the
if it
safety
loses, you'll get your money back. It was like someone talked me into this idea, and I didn't even really think it all the way through. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then by the time I thought all the way through, I had to get the tech guys to undo it, and that takes time and all that other stuff. So we're back in business. We've been doing this for a few months this way, and I just think it's more. I think it's everybody makes. I don't know. I think the idea is everybody wins together and everybody loses together. You know, it's stupid that a handicapper should get paid, or I should get paid, or anybody, or pick dog should get paid, or sports chat play should get paid if the pick doesn't win. It's like I'm calling bull crap on that, you know, and so should you guys. You know, that's bull crap, man. We do a combo. We have a combo. We have 2-for-1 capper packages, and we actually have that already. He's saying, so here it is. Here's the suggestion, Chris. You guys should do a combo package where we get both your picks. Yes, we have that. It's called the 2-for-1 capper package. It's available at the website.
Or you got that.
I've got a great idea. You take the chocolate, you put it with the peanut butter. You put it in a little cup form. It's like you take the dough.
I think you're onto something here.
You take the dough. You create a circle. You drop it in the hot oil. You turn it over. You go again. You sprinkle some powdered sugar on the thing.
Okay.
It's like I would have loved to have been. I always like, you know, I'd love to be like at some of these board meetings, you know, like where they come up with these product ideas. I would just love it, you know. It'd be like, how about the guy like, so I had this a couple years ago, and this is the closest I've come to doing crack. I went to the grocery store and they had Frosted Flakes with Lucky Charms marshmallows in it.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, someone's like genius.
Someone's living in the year 3000.
That is just unbelievable. It's like, man, where was that? You know, where was that when they used to call it sugar Frosted Flakes back in the day? Where was that, man? I love that stuff. I think my favorite things, you know, are, well, not my favorite things, but some of my favorite things are that Carvel ice cream cakes with the crunch and the fudge.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I mean, who someone really, you know, applied themselves, you know. We'll take the chocolate on the bottom, put the vanilla, a layer of crunch, and we'll pour some fudge over that before we put the other. I think this is gonna work. I think this is gonna work. Oh, man, some of the best ideas, some of the best ones.
By the way, for the person who's asking, you can get both of our picks with the YouTube VIP Premium as well. That's another option if you're looking to get a great value on some extra picks.
So my wife mixed the other day, and this was not a good mix. She mixed coconut ice cream in the same bowl with chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream.
Wait, what was it? What
it was not a good combination. It was, so it's chocolate chip cookie dough, but it's that Taglianetti brand, whatever it's called. So it has like a fudge ripple around the chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream as well. And she put that in with like a scoop of that with a scoop of coconut in my dessert dish.
Like fresh coconut?
No, coconut ice cream.
Oh, coconut ice cream?
Yeah. It just didn't go.
Like supposed to be like a macaroon or something?
No, she just made. I just mean like the flavor was supposed to be like a macaroon. No, I like coconut ice cream on its own, or with fudge, or coconut almond. I like coconut chocolate chip, coconut ripple, coconut stripe. I like all of those different kinds.
But that one just didn't work.
Yeah, I've had coconut macadamia nut. I've had coconut, you know, banana coconut, macadamia nut chocolate. I like all those, you know. But the thing is, they just did not go well with the cookie dough. Just wasn't. Anyways, speaking of cookie dough, still got Mike Minor's stats up here. Just mind-boggling. We got the Washington Nationals taking on the Oakland A's. then the A's spotted the Nationals 4 runs yesterday and was off. Whoa, the Nationals were off the races. 6 runs the Nationals put on them, and then the A's put on them to make it 6-4. Then the Nationals had the audacity to act like they were going to try and get back in the game and rally the troops, get it to 6-5, and the A's answered with a grand slam. Chris, Anibal Sanchez here to put out the fire. What do you think?
With a gas can in his hand, but no, I'm going to go with the A's, but I'm also going to go with the under in this one. I think James Caprillion, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think he pitches a lot better than his numbers would indicate, and a 4.46 ERA in his last 7. I think a lot of that is only because he gave up 8 runs in 2 2/3 to the Yankees in his last start. But other than that, he had been pretty good over the prior 6. And Anibal Sanchez, we've said it before, he's capable of, spinning a gem whenever he takes the mound. But yeah, he's allowed just 1 run in his last 9 1/3 innings of work. But I think the A's can get to him. They play better on the road, but I do expect it to still be a low-scoring game. So I'm going to go with the A's, and I'm going to go with the under as well.
Yeah, I just think that probably see an over here. I looked at the betting tools, and I went to what I do is I'll go to the best parlay on the betting tools, and then I'll turn off all the sports except for baseball, and then I'll turn off all the different types of bets except for total, and I click generate parlay. And this is how you get all those great parlay trends. And this one actually came up on there, and it said that in each of the last 5 games between the A's and the Nationals, they've all gone over the run line. They've all gone over the total. Every one of them. So who am I to play God here, Chris? I mean, who am I to stop this?
The nerve of some people, I swear.
I mean, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna try and catch a falling knife.
I said that yesterday. My fiance held one up by the end. She's like, "Are you sure you don't want to try?" And I was like, "No, I'm good, thank you."
It's like I give out the under. People be like, "You work for Vegas." He works for Vegas. I love that one. It's my favorite. Romanelli is the guy that they get him on now. I used to be the Mitch works for Vegas for years. Now it's Ron works for Vegas. It's like I feel good about passing the torch. It's like works for Vegas. It's like, as a matter of fact, yes, we both work the night shift at the Ben and Jerry's over at the Casino Royale. It's like that's Vegas. Anyways, move on. Got the Blue Jays taking on the Cubs. The Blue Jays have won both these games against the Cubs, but they haven't looked great in the process. Mitch White on the mound here, he screwed me hard the last time he pitched. He was absolutely hideous. And the Cubs, who's showing for the Cubs here?
Let me see. I'm still seeing TBD.
Down with TBD.
Give me a sec. Let me see if I can pull up a rotation pattern and see who's gone. Who usually follows Stroman? It looks like it's been Justin Steele.
Jorge Kirby.
And they said he's listed for probable for Friday with a back issue. So I don't know if it's going to be him tonight.
No idea. Anyways, pretty good schedule today though with the normally these Wednesdays have been loaded with day games, so this is the first one that we have a actually full schedule with a lot of night games. Tomorrow, the partial schedule with the 6 college football games. Do any of your college football videos ready? Or you're waiting?
No, I've started prepping for them. I'm going to do the Thursday ones, maybe the Friday ones today, and start digging into the Saturday stuff as well.
Tennessee Ball State, I did.
Mm-hmm.
It's not posted, but I did it. Tennessee Ball State. Ooh.
Sidebar. Is there any game that you're looking forward to? Not necessarily a premium pick, but just a game you're looking forward to for the Thursday slate?
Pittsburgh, West Virginia, and Penn State, Purdue. I'll just go right with the 2 big ones. I think those are, for me. I want to see if Penn State can get off to a better start than what they have in recent years. I don't see it. I mean, they got the same quarterback coming back, but he was terrible last year. And then Purdue has, could be, an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
So, but, James Franklin gets like all these accolades. He was great at Vandy, and really he had a few good years at Penn State. Remember, they were talking about him for the USC job last year, but he's 11-11 the last 2 years as far as I'm concerned. That's where he sits. Anyways.
I think for me, tomorrow is Central Michigan, Oklahoma State. I think that could be the upset special.
You think so?
I wouldn't be surprised. Spencer Sanders has an issue with turnovers, and Central Michigan's got a pretty good offense. I think they got a pretty good running back core there. So,
I mean, have the the weird thing is about tomorrow night's games is that the Minnesota hasn't even played, and PJ Fleck's already on my nerves. It's like it's like, how is that even possible?
Especially as a 38.5 point favorite.
Well, think last year, it's still last year at the end of the season when they had 9 wins. It was like, banner year for Minnesota. 9 wins. And he's 2-2 against Wisconsin for the Axe. And what do you think Fleck said? What do you think his comments were like about the season that he had, his 9-win season at Minnesota of all places?
We had a Carvel cake after the season was over.
I have failed as a head coach. It's like, you're not Lou Holtz, It's like, you're not, It's like, oh, we don't want to be overlooking Army, when he's head coach in Notre Dame against those really bad Army teams. Oh, no, we don't want to be overlooking Army here. These guys will come up. It's like, come on, Fleck. I have failed as a head coach. It's like you coach at Minnesota, you had 9 wins. It's like you had basically an NFL offensive line. Flexter. I failed as a coach trying to cover point spreads, maybe. As I'm taking TBD against Mitch White. I like the Cubs. Go to Tigerland. Tigers taking on the Mariners. Marco's pitching up against Tyler Alexander. Marco, Polo. Chris, what do you think?
Oh man, this one I tried to stay away from, but I think I will still lean towards the over here. Tyler Alexander, he's given up 13 runs across his last 3 starts and 14 innings of work, and still a 1-6 record in his last 7 with a 6.40 ERA. But whenever I seem to back Marco Gonzalez, I seem to get burned. He's pitched better, especially in his last couple of starts, but still have a little bit of a PTSD with Marco Gonzalez. So I'm going to go with the over. I'll lean towards the Mariners, though, as well.
I'm really, the thing is, going back to what we were just talking about, I like the Tigers in this one, by the way. I just think that the Tigers are going to come up and bite, from time to time, and this just, to me, looks like a logical spot. But, I think sometimes on these shows, doing them over the course of the year and for so many years, doing shows and videos and all of these different things, and writing articles and all the things that we do, you become complacent. But I think for me, college football is that one time, and my NFL halftimes is kind of my one time out of the year. And I think college hoops, I probably do the same too. But I think for me, though, the one that the reason I enjoy it the most, it kind of gives me the chance to remind everybody, I kind of do know what I'm talking about. It's like, kind of do know our stuff. There's a reason why I've been around for so long. And it's like, while we become complacent, why we say things that not everybody agrees with, and we're willing to take stands that others are unwilling to do, and to, no one's going to just push us around. We're just going to move to the side. And that doesn't happen here. But at the same time, it doesn't mean, we don't know our stuff. That's where some people are confused. I think the way that Rod Zawacki will tell you this, the way he found me, the way that Rod Zawacki found me, he Googled best college football handicapper, and I came up. And it's like, I don't know where it came up at or whatever, but he said that's what came up was me. Weird. Anyways. Mets versus Dodgers. Jacob deGrom on the mound. Really rising line here. This thing opened with the Mets at minus 130. They're now all the way up to minus 162.
Yeah, this would probably stay away. I was gonna take a Ruffalo on this one, but I can't. That's not what I'm gonna do. So I'll lean towards the Mets here, but something still feels weird about passing up plus money with the Dodgers. But I think sometimes you have to do it, and Jacob DeGrom's pitching really well, so it's just a matter of getting run support for him from the Mets. So I'll lean towards uh, I'll lean towards the Mets in this one with DeGrom on the hill. I mean, Tyler Anderson, he's been all right in recent starts, but let me see if I can get his numbers up here. Yeah, 2.08 ERA across his last seven, so it's going to be tough. Maybe I'll lean towards an under, but under 6.5, I still try to stay away from those.
I think the Mets let one get away from them yesterday, and when the Mets were up 1-0, and the Dodgers had the bases loaded, and Taijuan Walker plunked them in the back. You can ask my wife; she was just here. The first words out of my mouth were "frickin' Vegas." Anyways, it's just like I thought Taijuan Walker just had a little slip up there, and really that was the game. And then later on in the game, after the Mets had tied it up with a couple solo shots, they again just let it get away. You can't walk in runs. You just can't do it. Can't do it. But you got Jacob DeGrom. I think DeGrom knows he's going to need to be super efficient out there, and just go as deep as he could possibly go. The Dodgers try and, make it tough, make pitchers work. But I don't know. Expect DeGrom to be decent enough there. You've got the Braves taking on the Rockies. Biggest upset of the day yesterday was the Colorado Rockies beating the Atlanta Braves outright. And the Braves had some chances, but they just looked complacent at the plate. Max Fried not on top of his game, but I don't think you could blame him for that one. What do you think here? Kyle Wright righting the ship here for the Braves?
Yeah, this was another tricky one because I did like the Braves with Kyle Wright initially, but then you see what is it now, 13 in a row that the Rockies have covered as run line underdogs against or at Truist Park in Atlanta. So I still struggle with this one because it's Ryan Feltner if you're taking the Rockies. So I think I'll go with the Braves team total over again. I think they finally wake up today, but still run the risk that maybe the Rockies sneak in the back door and cover this thing.
I thought Ruffalo was going back to our cereal discussion there. I was like, do I go with the Lucky Charms of Frosted Flakes or do I just stick with a bowl of honeycomb?
You do realize this is what I'm doing after the show, right? Like I want to get a box of Lucky Charms.
Some guys when they're on the shows like Al Nino, sometimes it's like you ask him. It's like you've asked him to, if it's like you've asked him to, help you move a bureau or something. It's like, hey, you can help me move this hutch today. It's like you got to him. It's like. And then he always follows it up with, "What game were we talking about again?" It's like, oh man, I like the Braves here. I'm gonna ride this thing to the wheels. I'm already dead, because yesterday it's like I lost enough on the game that it's like there's no way I could possibly make it back up. I mean, I could take the Braves when it's 4.5 the rest of the way, and chip away at it. Got the Twins against the Red Sox. Joe Ryan against Michael Wacha on the mound. Pretty reasonable odds here. It should be a good game. The Twins they're just tough customers right now. Of all those teams kind of falling apart, in the American League, the Twins have won 5 in a row.
Yeah, I think they got a shot to make it 6 here. I'm going to go with the Twins. Michael Wacha, the thing for Wacha is that he's been far more effective at home. And he did struggle in his last start. He allowed 4 runs over 6 innings. Did get the win there, and he's been pretty good since rejoining the the Red Sox rotation. But Joe Ryan, for me, you look at his recent starts. Those starts where he gave up 6 runs, 5 earned to the Dodgers, 10 runs against the Padres. They both came at home or on the road, and at home he's just been a far better pitcher. I think he's allowed 2 runs or less in 9 of his last 10 home starts. So I'll go with Joe Ryan and the Twins in this one.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you here and take Joe Ryan and the Twins. Ryan really has tailed off a little bit as the season has gone on, but it's Michael Wacha and the Red Sox and the Twins. I don't know if they're streaky, right? So right now, streaky good. So I got to just continue to ride with that. I don't um, love this card, to be honest with you. Speaking of not loving, we both took the Royals yesterday against the White Sox, and for good reason. And Tony La Russa now is leaving for medical reasons, and my guess is his days as White Sox manager. Now it'll kind of be like his way to unceremoniously, to bow out, right? Because he's gonna get lit up in the off season, right? I mean, it'll be so much heat to fire him. It's gonna be embarrassing for him. Other than that, I think La Russa's done a fine job destroying this franchise.
Okay. Well, for me, this one I'm gonna go with the Chicago White Sox here. I think at some point got to put a foot in the sand, draw a line, and I think Lance Lynn, he's actually pitched fairly well over his last 7 starts, 2.83 ERA, and I think he does enough to help the White Sox get back into this series. Chris Bubich, it's been a nice option for the Royals. He's held the teams like the Yankees in check, the Red Sox. He did give up 3 runs in his last start to the White Sox, and I think that could end up being enough here. I think the White Sox need to figure it out, and I think they figure it out here. So give me the White Sox in this one.
La Russa will not be managing the White Sox today, so that is a big plus into their advantage, and maybe could be the spark that Lance Lynn has been missing all season. But you do have one of my favorite names, and Chris Son of a Bubich here on the mound for the Royals. So it is a tough call. I don't know. I just continue to fade the White Sox because I hate them. Anyways, move to the next game. I'll take the Royals on spite alone. We go to our next pick. It's the Angels against the Yankees. I had the Angels yesterday trying to do it back to back. Did not happen. Just didn't work out for me. It was like Halloween for Michael Myers. It was just bad. But Patrick Sandoval's pitching today. I love fading Cole. I can't help myself. I will personally be fading Cole. I'll be going on the reverse run line on the Angels. How about you, Chris?
I'll be taking just the normal +1.5 run line. I'm not as bold as you are, but mainly because the issue for Patrick Sandoval was that the Angels weren't backing him up offensively. You look at all of his 5 starts in July, the Angels had scored 2 runs or less. And the thing about Sandoval, he's capable of throwing a gem. It's just a matter of getting the run support. And Garrett Cole hasn't pitched like a $35 million a year pitcher. 4.06 ERA in his last 7. He's allowed 4 more runs in 4 of those 7 starts. So I think the Angels keep this one close if they don't win it outright. I like the Angels +1.5.
I agree with you. Lay the 1.5 with the Angels. Got the Diamondbacks against the Phillies, and the Diamondbacks have actually won 7 in a row at home against the Philadelphia Phillies. And Aaron Nola was just, I want out. I want out of this game. I want out of this city. I want off of this team. I want nothing to do with these guys. I am not even going to try anymore. I have no answers. And it's like, I don't want to play with these lazy, good-for-nothing bums any longer. So he just sat there and was basically a piñata. Speaking of piñatas, Chris, who do you like in this one?
I'm a good piñata myself. But no, I'm going with the Diamondbacks here. Tommy Henry, he's pitched really well in his last couple of starts. He's pitched well at home since in his short big league tenure. And Bailey Falter, for me, just is not a pitcher that I want to lay juice with on the road, especially with this Phillies team that at one point had allowed, 22 unanswered runs between the 4th inning in Monday's game and the 6th inning in yesterday's game. So I think they just have the Phillies number, and they're playing really well right now. Maybe a little bit too little, too late, but still roll with the Diamondbacks at plus money, and this one is a home dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Diamondbacks here with Henry. I'm just so done. I mean, I hate the Phillies, so I've been betting the Diamondbacks every game in this series. I'll continue to bet them. I've been fading the Phillies often, and this year a couple times it's come up to bite me, but not here. I like the D-backs. Tommy Henry brings us to the parlay segment of the show. Chris, what are you thinking?
I'm going to go with all evening slate. I'll go with the Twins on the money line, the Angels plus 1.5, and the Diamondbacks on the money line.
I'll take the Angels minus 1.5 on the reverse run line. I'll take the Kansas City Royals with the plus 164, and I will go with the Detroit Tigers, Tyler Alexander. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We appreciate each and every one of you. We're going to do the premium and VIP shows right after this. They've been pretty hot, right?
Yeah. We did well yesterday. We absolutely killed it on Monday.
I think every day we've killed it this week.
Especially we've been hitting those home run props, too.
In fact, I win 100% of the games I get to pick after they're over. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. And if you haven't tried that Frosted Flakes with the Lucky Charms marshmallows, treat yourself. Thank me later. Have a great day, everyone.